Thank you so much, Lottie. And I've got to be honest, we've been sitting in the back. We've been watching some amazing Halo all day. We've been wanting to get back in the caster booth because what a way to close out the day. This is going to be here on what is the craziest Saturday we've had during the entire season. And now we get yet another huge matchup. Both teams coming off the back of huge Game 5 wins. We have Native Red, the Cinderella story, going up against the monsters that is FaZe Clan.
I mean, and what a time to have the most exciting Saturdays here at the Halo World Championships. The most upsets we've seen all season. We actually may have seen more upsets today than we've seen all season. That's how crazy it's been. Native Red, somehow, if you missed it, coming in from behind the upset, a reverse sweep Game 5 win against Cloud9. It's an unbelievable story so far. However, their next opponent now is FaZe Clan.
And FaZe Clan, of course, they managed to win that Game 5 against E United a little bit earlier on. A lot of talk of Game 5s. I'd love a Game 5 to close this out today, but we're going to start off with King of the Hill here on Livefire.
Question is, Native Red, they've pulled off the impossible. Can they do it again here before the night is over on Saturday here? Best of 5, game number 1. Going to be King of the Hill on Strong.
And this man we're watching right now, I think he's a superstar in the making. Torlik has been unbelievable this season, slowly going about his business. We were looking at total engagement and basically output from players from the Orlando tournament. Top of the leaderboards. Not anyone on Optic, not anyone on FaZe, Sentinels. It was Torlik. When he's in a battle, he does damage and he gets jobs done.
What a start here for FaZe, though. That's 4 dead for Native Red. It will mean a free overshield for Renegade as well. By the way, you heard Renegade's comment earlier. This is Worlds, baby. I hate losing. And he's playing like a player on a mission.
Soul Snipe shuts him down momentarily. 2 dead still for Native Red. So it's been early, complete and utter control here for FaZe Clan. King Nick's just been sitting in the hill, being the king of the hill, with his crown on his head, watching all the peasants do his work.
Question for us was, can Native Red strike again? Will Lightning strike in the same place, in the same fashion? FaZe Clan ready to silence that Cinderella story here. They want to make quick work on Saturday night.
Falcated then with the sniper rifle, and look at the score. It is heavily in the favor of FaZe at the moment. It looks like Native Red haven't been able to get anywhere near that hill, and they're not getting anywhere near Falcated. He says, get off of me.
Wow, Falcated so cool under pressure there. Bottom tower, not an easy angle to hit shots like that. It's also going to be a killing spree on the next kill as well. 3 dead there. Torlik has to tuck his head and run. Still 3 dead for Native Red. FaZe Clan showing no signs of slowing.
Manny, the last player alive here for Native Red, just trying to contest, trying to slow down this point being converted. And it looks like Renegade's going to hunt him down. He's got the repulsor, but there comes the help from Native Red. Manny did such an incredible job there of delaying long enough for his team to at least attempt a rotation, but with that rotation towards tower, FaZe Clan have the opportunity to put their first point on the board. They are 1-0 up, but like I mentioned, Native are set up around that next hill.
2 dead for FaZe here. All eyes on that overshield in just a moment. Going to be popping right now, and here comes Native trying to get to it first. Falcon is doing what he can to do the damage, but it's a nice play from Druck and Torlik together to put 2 bodies on the overshield. They're going to get control here.
A lot of responsibility here for Druck. Has to hit some shots, has to get these kills with the overshield, and of course the heat wave in his hands. The player behind him, he deals with him. Nice little 360, just snapping back onto that player back tower. 3-4 dead here for FaZe Clan. Great start here for Native Red. They get the hold they're looking for.
There we go, Native Red bouncing back here. Really the first signs of life that we've seen from him in this game, and they do it convincingly off the back of that overshield grab. They'll put some points here on the board, just about halfway done with hill number 2.
FaZe making a push out towards green here. They clean out Soul Snipe, who was the kind of lurking, floating player for Native Red. Right now on the flank, good damage being done, and all 3 players there you can see taking down to almost no shields. Good team focus, but the kills haven't been converted yet. They've stayed alive long enough to cause some problems here for Native Red.
Well, great damage there from Druck, like you said. Not all cleaned up. Druck is your last player alive, so in the end, FaZe just brute forces that push. They push mud, they push pillars, and it works out for them. In the end, the Druck sandbags flank didn't really work out.
Didn't work out just on that occasion. 1 kill, 2 kills, completely different situation, but they are the margins that you see in these kind of games. A reminder, whoever wins this series, they have a date with Optic Gaming in that winners final, so not an easy road for either of these teams, even if they come through this series.
Not at all, but of course, they both want to take that spot head to bed here on Saturday night, knowing that they will be in those winners finals. It is going to be a grueling winners semis here between these 2 teams. Native Red still looking good in terms of progress on hill number 2.
Looking really, really good. They might be able to hold this. A couple of kills going their way, and this will be tied up at 1-1. One more desperate push is going to come in, but they can't even reach the hill, and it is going to be Native Red who tie things up at 1-1. But Torlik now left on his own. Sniper rifle in his hands, FaZe set up in garage.
Ooh, makes a first shot count on Spartan. Will take his face. Also bodies Renegade. That's great damage.
Overshield coming up as well. Renegade, the damage was enough for him to make that kill relatively easy. Falcade going to be challenging as well, and I said this man is a guy to watch. Torlik at the moment is locking down everything, and that is not just the hill. I'm pretty sure the native just picked OS as well.
They did as well. Manny's going to take to the skies here to get the sandbags even quicker. Torlik putting the game in control there. As you see, green gun does come in though. Nick does well to neutralize the overshield, however, not before a good amount of damage is done. Still 2 dead for FaZe Clan.
Great hold here from Native Red. That's going to be 3 dead. Spartan coming up from respawn is going to have to wait for the rest of his teammates to join him and hold hands as they try and push forward once again. But Native Red, we talked about the boys being back in town in Orlando. Manny rejoining after kind of a little bit of an absence away. He was on the team with Nick at one point. This time, he's putting Nick in the dirt.
I mean, look at the numbers here already that you're seeing. Tolik's 11 and 5, by the way. 2-1 now in favor of Native Red, making the third hill there look very easy.
Oh my! Almost. Jesus, Manny nearly using that remote detonation to get the damage required to turn a 1v2 into a last man standing situation where he was that last man. FaZe under pressure at the moment.
They are under pressure right now. They find themselves in an early deficit and one they might not have expected. We'll go to the other side of the stage and take a look at Native Red here as they're looking for the break. We'll go to an Astro listening.
Looking green. You mean? Watch out green. Watch out back green. You suck.
Let's go back green. Hold tower for Manny.
Yeah,
Manny, they're gonna be spawning A now, okay?
Spawn tower, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna split.
There's a guy pillars.
Pillars.
Two pillars.
Yeah, two on the guys.
Yeah, watch out.
On OS.
What's
We got Novi.
When it cuts.
5 seconds OS. I'm coming.
Spawning up. Someone grab it.
Wait, where's Obi? There's a guy pushing my tower.
Yeah, bomb tower now. Under mud. Watch out back there. One more.
Two guys, get 2 green.
Watch out training.
Watch out, back green. I'm holding it.
I'm top there.
Alright, yo, drop my keys.
Containing him.
Maybe
Dummy.
guys, I'm staring at
One's
these.
I spawn screens, guys.
Jump up top screens.
Yeah.
Well, the intensity of Native Red is understandable. They're 3-1 up now. FaZe Clan on the back foot as Torlik picks up his 17th kill of this game. 18 kill. He's 18 and 7.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Native Red picking up where they left off in that Cloud9 series. Without a doubt, there's a reason that everyone talked about this team all year long. Now they picked the perfect time to strike. They lead 3-1 in game number 1 over FaZe Clan.
3v3 on the map, 2-4 for FaZe. Torlik turns around and a damage truck there immediately to capitalize on the damage. A trade coming in. All of FaZe Clan have to watch as Drock stands inside of that hill. And they're about 2/3 of the way of this final hill to close out this game. Native Red are looking unbelievable here.
Looking great, outslaying their opponents by just about 10 kills at this point. This is huge. And now only about 40% of the way from closing out game number 1.
Maybe it's up to Renegade to try and break in. He gets the kill, the entry frag. As Manny now tries to set someone off, King Nick holds on to the rails. Manages to pull himself back into the game, and is that a moment that could be replicated now in-game? Will that little bit of survival from King Nick, the way he held on, can FaZe take something from that?
That's the question. He's got those sticky shoes, but Renegade's your last player alive for FaZe. Yet again, it's more time on the board for Native Red.
Bad news here as well, is the Soul Swipe's not just inside the hill. FaZe Clan not just coming off respawn, but the grenades aren't going to be doing too much because he's got the repulsor and chooses to go up into the sky.
Look at the scoreboard here, 3v3. Not much time left. Native Red is inches away from closing out this game.
Inches is not enough, though. You've got to get that win secured. Druck taking out Spartan, certainly going to heal. They double up on the hill. They have the OS. This is surely now going to be the game here for Native Red. A last desperate push coming in for FaZe is held off. And Native Red are here to play.
Oh my God. The Cinderella story lives on in a big way. Here in your winter semifinals, smiles across the board for Native Red, and for good reason. This team was top 6 all season, top 12 in Orlando. People thought maybe their run was over. It is not over yet.
And all season long, we've been saying this is the team that could cause an upset. But it never quite happened. It's never quite materialized.
Lots of game 5s.
But now, They seem to be on the warpath, and they do not care who is in front of them. It's only one game, though. FaZe have a lot more Halo to play in this series, but the way that Native Red won that game, that was dominant.
I mean, dominant, and if you covered up the names on the other side of the stage, you never would have guessed that was FaZe that they were doing that against. An unbelievable performance in the end of the game. The kills that come in from Talik, he goes 19-9, and they outslay FaZe 57-47. An unbelievable performance there in game number 1.
Almost the perfect start to the series for them. We saw power weapon kills, we saw power up control. And the thing that I loved the most about it was all of the pieces that you expect to see, the play styles meshing. Everyone was doing their job perfectly. Talik picking up the kills from the damage that was being done. Druck being that annoying flanker, always behind enemy lines. And everyone else filling in the gaps to mean that we go into game number 2 with FaZe Clan with something to prove. It's Slayer recharge. The question is, will the fast pace of Native Red here be suitable when it comes to a slower paced game type like we have in Slayer?
Yeah, and guess what? In game number 2, these two teams have both played this game type. They're both 1-0 on this game type, so winning records. Of course they are. That's how the story's got to go. Winning records for both of them here in our game number 2. And Native Red, the question was, can they continue to ride that momentum, right? We said just how difficult that reverse sweep was against C9, but that may have given them all the confidence they need at the World Championships.
We were saying sometimes it just takes one series for a team to believe that they can beat anyone, right? And we were, like I mentioned, we were waiting for that big win all season. So close.
All year long they've been waiting for that
close,
series. Yeah.
But not able to break through that glass series. I don't even think it's the Game 5 win against Cloud9 that's done it for them. I think it's the way that they won that Game 5 that's given them confidence that they now bring into this series against FaZe. What an opportunity this is for Native Red to maybe think about setting the table for a date with Optic. If they go 2-0 up, FaZe have got to win 3 in a row. And I just said out loud, I was like, it's still possible. It's been a crazy day here in Seattle.
It absolutely has. Like we said, upset city in Seattle at the World Championships. It's been a wild day number 2, and what a perfect way to end the day with this series. Somehow, some way, Native Red is 1-0 up on FaZe Clan.
Renegade looks a little bit miffed from what happened in that last game, the way that he's charging in and immediately getting himself on those kill leaderboards. There's another one for him. The first camo does go to FaZe, as we saw, in the hands of Renegade. And I like the fact that they pushed the pace with that camo, trying to get him involved in the game, trying to have him have that influence, but there's Druck again, winning a 1v1, and no! Almost turned 2 onto Spark.
Almost does it there with the repulsor. Gets away with the second one, 5-4 now in favor of FaZe. The chaos unfolds, as it always does at Whirlpool. It was a momentary 4 dead for Native Red. Druck is your first spawner here at bottom gold.
8-5 then. A little bit of breathing room here for FaZe. I'm so interested in seeing how the pace of this game develops, though, because we know that Native Red love to be fast. They love to be aggressive. They love to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But have FaZe got it within them to hold that off, to hold the angles and win those vital 1vs when they present themselves?
You have to think all year long, like we said. You think back to Kansas City. This roster. Okay, Manny hits the double kill with the shock as well. Brings the game now to 11-10. They take the lead. Oh, God.
Oh, you knew it was happening! You knew it was happening, Manny! Just stood there and just went, how dare you challenge me? Hits the headshot. The game turned on its head already. It's 13-11.
This kid is nuts. They take the lead here. As many as 5-2. Early on in the game, he leads the entire game in kills.
Spawn challenges. Spawn gets the kill. That's what we need to see a little bit more from FaZe Clan. Those double pushes, a little bit more confidence, a little bit more teamwork. You can't fall into the trap. They're trying to match the pace that Native Red are going to set. Spartan has responsibility now. With his shock in his hand, if he can create a numbers opportunity with one headshot, then maybe FaZe have got a way back into this game and might be able to tie it up, but no, here comes Soul Sniper Manny. A wonderful push down long hole to clean him out.
Druck picks up another one here. Oh, a late camo pop from Druck as well. Love that. Brings it all the way back in the elevator. And now a 6-kill lead for Native Red. An upset city continues its course. On the other side of the stage, King Nick 0-5 so far. A slow start from him, an uncharacteristically slow start. The teamwork, the buddy system, the Bats brothers of Native Red pick up another kill, but they're up 21-16.
Little bit of a comeback here from FaZe. A couple of kills exchanged, but It's FaZe who come out on the better side of those exchanges. They managed to just pull it within 5 now. Tolic still has the shock rifle though. And we know that the team who controls the shock rifle controls the pace of the game. Spartan tries to challenge. And unfortunately here for Tolic, he doesn't have any ammo now to just kind of pick away ahead. It's going to be the battle rifle, old trusty, maybe even a commando. He picks that one up off the rack. That's going to be able to cause that damage.
Let's see if he pushes this hard to push around batteries there from that gold corner. Wisely just stays back. Let's the action come to him. Eventually, though, it's great teamwork coming out from FaZe. Tolic almost does it. You heard on the desk, they're talking about Tolic. How long did the season have to go before we really start talking about this guy? Soul Snipe's gonna come in and clean up the damage. They now lead 23-18.
Drugs picked up the fresh shock as well. That's 2 in a row, really, that we're going to see opportunities for headshots for the lead to be extended here for Native Red. It gets a pick, though, to put Tolic into the death screen for a few moments. And now you're going to see the attempted aggressiveness coming back to bite Native there. Those kind of situations where you lose that first player, the idea from Drug to try and keep pressurizing FaZe is a great one, but you miss that shot. You give FaZe an opening.
Let's not forget, this was just about a 7-kill lead for Native Red. Now it's only a 3-kill lead. FaZe have slowed this down. They realize what's on the line. Let's go to the other side of the stage here with FaZe Clan and an Astro listening.
I got him. 3 guys. Top killing me, Drug.
Last guy.
He's weak. Really weak top yard. Really weak top yard.
He bottom. I shot one swing.
Where is my red? Red pipe?
Yes, I think red. I believe red. Is Shaka? What's up with red?
Yeah, Shocky's up. On me already.
I have you tied up the pipes.
John guys came out, chill out, okay?
Yeah, everyone.
There's like 3 pipes.
I got a job glass.
Okay.
John guys came out shot.
Yeah, I might fight red with you, Nick. I'm about to fight red.
I can fight red with you guys
I'm on grapple.
Alright, all in there.
Yeah, they're all in there. They're literally all in there.
Turbine right now. Turbine A, guys. We're good though. We're good.
3.
Collapse.
They might cross tower. They might cross tower.
I'm one next to you. 2 crossing. 2 trying to cross. Top cat, solid. Just hold it.
Slow down.
I died. Nice.
Go to red and hold our setup, guys.
Yes.
I'm shocked. Let me win this game.
Watch sides cross, guys.
I hear you guys. We need to communicate what we're doing. Direct the call.
I'm getting bottom A.
Hold on. I'm kind of going drunk, like.
I'm just gonna drunk. Camel boxes. Single stack. Ready.
Yeah, there's 2 guys.
Watch out, triple corner. Watch out, or triple stack.
Okay. These guys love to hit.
Yeah, they do.
Bottom on shit.
They like hitting mid-bridge.
One's BR stairs. She's We're good. Take your time.
One of you are holding me.
I've got to hold crosses for red.
Yeah.
Crosses for red.
We're good.
Still BR stairs. Glass and Tiki.
I throw it in a glass.
Yo, Mike, you want to double walk BR with me?
Yeah.
He's hold on. I'm gonna try to shoot the guy BR stairs first.
Okay. Let's do damage first.
One's glass. One is glass.
I need a glass.
Still BR stairs? It's hit him, Mike.
One of your steps on the corner. Take your time.
Yeah. We have to back up.
Guys are trying to kill you, dude.
We can hear the intensity here from FaZe as well, almost matching what we heard from Native Red a few moments ago. But when we left to go into that listening, it wasn't the scoreline that we have in front of us right now. FaZe have managed to get themselves a 2-kill lead.
Yeah, they bring this back, and you also heard during the listening, slow this down. Let's regain composure here. Make sure we're using things like directive callouts. Also, you might have caught Renegade really in an IGL role here, right? Not surprising to hear him just commanding the troops, making sure they're aware of what might happen across the stage here. Still a 2-kill game. Camo, though, in hand for Manny. It's another late camo pop.
Interesting to see that Native Red managed to get that without really taking too much damage. So a couple of angles maybe not being picked up. However, information's going to be picked up by Manny. He gets one, and he'll turn the shock over, but there's Nick for the trade.
Important trade there, making sure that the camo's neutralized after the 2 kills were exchanged here, but now just a 1-kill lead, and Druck with the shock in hand. Could not be closer, 5:30 left on the clock.
There's the pick to tie things up at 30 all. This is where Slayers really start to matter. The deaths. They'll total up so quickly, and Renegade picking up 2 here. After they get past that 30-kill mark for FaZe is massive. 2 kills at this point in the game feels so different to 2 kills at the very beginning.
Absolutely massive. You said also off-screen, Renegade picking up that double with those grenades. Well placed to give them a little bit more cushion. Druck trying to get creative with the angles if he can. FaZe, of course, playing very disciplined, not showing for the shock rifle.
Now Native being forced to play at a pace that if they had to choose, they're not as comfortable with. A lot of pressure on the shoulders of Druck. One headshot. The map is opened up completely, but they also know that FaZe aren't going to give them any easy shots, so it's going to have to be something a little bit special here from Druck. Options to maybe relocate now that he's fired that bullet. FaZe are going to know where he is. I'd like to see Druck maybe try and take a different angle and see if he can catch one FaZe member off guard.
Yeah, maybe a rotate here, but the discipline showing from FaZe. There's no... Oh! You can't go near those plasma, Spartan. Druck's going to remote detonate you. That brings the game within 1.
A little bit of a freebie there from the remote detonation. Spartan's gonna maybe think about that decision again. Maybe he's just trying to pick the plasmas up to make a play himself. Unfortunate timing for FaZe fans and for Spartan especially. Now Druck is trying to get a little bit creative. Knows that camo's coming up, and he's got to grapple for it as well. Gonna have to escape. Not sure if he managed to pick it up in the way he wanted, though.
I don't think so. I think it's down on stacks. It did not seem like... Got it there. It is going to be actually Nick who grabs it in the end. Camo doesn't come across, and it's blown wide open now. 36-32. 2 dead for Native Red.
Tiny little misplay there. The grapple not connecting like Druck wanted. And having picked up the previous camo, now FaZe, they make the play on the next, and that has turned this game on its head completely. Nick with the distraction. All of FaZe now off the back of that can collapse. Spartan finds 2. Now that gap is starting to open up as Nick, he's looking for blood.
Oh boy, he's gonna fly right around the corner. He will take Druck down. That was 4 dead. Now it's an enormous 8-kill lead here, 40-32 for FaZe Clan.
And how well have FaZe played it once the game has slowed down? That's
right.
been the difference, the fast pace from Native at the beginning of this game caught FaZe off guard, but now that it's become a slower, more methodical game, FaZe have been able to pick up those kills.
Like you said, Native Red, these are the fast young guns. They want to play as fast as possible. That showed in game number 1, but the veteran side of FaZe making sure to take advantage of the slower gameplay. They now lead 41-33. What a set of kills and control from them.
9 kills to go here for FaZe then. Damage coming in from Spartan, a couple of commandos in the hands of FaZe as well, which is always going to help just hold off those long-range pushes. Soul Snipe knows that he's got to try and do something, but FaZe Clan set the trap. Now it's just 7 to go.
This game was 32-31. This is a 10-1 run, make it 11-1 run from FaZe. This is absolute dominance in the late game.
Brilliance being shown by FaZe. Manny maybe with that kill gives an inkling of hope here for Native Red, but with so far to go. Second time Sparty's been remote detonated. Very unfortunate situation for him. But the challenge now coming out from FaZe. They get that pick. Nick tries to push the pace a little bit here. Torlik shuts it down.
These guys need to go hero mode right now. Down by 9 kills, make that 10 kills. And when you're going up against Renegade, who's 15-9, with the intensity that we saw earlier, and Spartan with the camo, it's going to be a tall task. 2 more kills for FaZe.
There's 1. There's 2. It's 1 more to go here for FaZe to tie up the series at 1-1. And having been, unfortunately, on the end of a remote detonation for the last 2 deaths, I think the Spartan would love to close this out himself.
He's angry. He's thinking, who can I repulse off this map? He now has the flank back C. Let's see what he can do.
Spartan looking for blood, looking for revenge, but it's Renegade who adds another to his tally. 17-11. Renegade starting to look like Renegade.
Most kills in the game, least deaths in the game as well. Beautiful numbers from him, and he steps up in a big way. In game number 2, we got a tie series, and to be honest, we know that we could have it no other way. Day number 2 at the Halo World Championships. This series has delivered so far. We're going into game number 3 all tied up.
I think it's fascinating, right? As soon as that game started to slow down, at the start of the series, we're like fast pace. Suits Native Red, they can continue rolling with that momentum. The adrenaline's going to be flowing.
Yep.
As soon as that game slowed down and FaZe were able to just methodically pick away at Native Red, it almost felt like they didn't have an answer. But the good news is that game type has been and gone now for Native Red. Now they can focus on those objective game types. Now they have the opportunity to fly and pressure FaZe in the way they did that game number 1.
Absolutely. Also a huge part of the end of that game, as we take a look at some highlights, is also King Nick ended that game with a killing spree, going +1. So King Nick chose the best time to pop off at the end of the game. He's a huge part of why they win that game by 12.
It was an electric start to the game, as we'll see from some of these highlights. I mean, the confidence here from Manny just to stand there, accept the challenge, take the duel and manage to win it. But this is the situation we found ourselves at, right? 31-32.
Look at that scoreline.
Essentially all tied up.
Yeah.
And when the game ends, unfortunately for Native Red, it didn't really increase much on their side. It was FaZe who got to 50.
I mean, absolutely incredible. It was, I believe, a 19-8 run to close out the game in the final scores there. Actually, 19-6, excuse me. Even more dominance from FaZe, and I think that's the win that FaZe and FaZe fans needed to remind themselves why they are here in the winter semifinals. It's a dominant game number 2, especially a game number 2 closer from the FaZe clan. That will set us up for Oddball on Streets, a game type that neither of these 2 teams have played this tournament.
And I love the fact that we got this as the 3rd game type. Why? it's a perfect combination of the first two.
Yeah.
You have the control element, right, where you're trying to set up, you're trying to hold that ball inside a tram or back tower as those two preferred setups, but also you have the carnage and the pace available to you to slide and G-slide all over the map and create opportunities, which is going to fall into the hands of Native Red. So this is going to be a massive game in the series. We call it the swing game, who's going to go ahead, but I love the fact that this is a game type which kind of plays into both play styles, and now it's just going to be who can execute best.
That's right. I mean, especially when we talk about play styles, right? This really is a game type where there are times where you need to fly fast, and other times during a tram setup, during a PD setup, you have to know how to slow the game down. You have to be comfortable there. By the way, players are on a quick game 2 break. That means we are now going to be able to jump into Cloud9 and E United for just a moment while we wait for the series to resume on main stage.
Not too bad. Just jump in to watch Cloud9 versus E United. The crazy thing is, one of these teams is about to go home.
Absolutely
Which is
crazy.
Absolutely crazy to say. This is only the Saturday. Either E United or Cloud9 will not make Championship Sunday. And at the start of this game, it looks like Cloud9 are in full control.
Wow, I mean, it's just crazy to think about that. I don't think, as we talked about at the desk, there's no one who would have predicted great shots there. The double kill from Bound against the Spectres. I don't think anyone would have expected either of these two teams to even think about going home on day number 2. However, that's how the brackets went down, and these are the results we have on screen. These two teams fighting for their tournament lives off of the main stage.
Unbelievable stuff to find ourselves in this kind of situation, but that's how intense the Halo World Championships has been today. Upsets, game 5, reverse sweeps, it's had it all. And unfortunately, when that kind of craziness goes down, there's always going to be someone who comes out on the disappointed side of that. And at the moment, it's either going to be Cloud9 or E United. For now, it is Cloud9 who are continuing their dominance. It's 117 to 13 at the moment. Estella's trying to hold the doorway to A, goes in for the trade, and you'll get it.
Let's not forget, we've seen Cloud9 with rocky starts to tournaments. Never this rocky, but we have seen them with rocky starts to tournaments, and they have come back and won those events. So they are not going to count themselves out just yet. However, they do have a long road through the elimination bracket if they want to get to the grand finals tomorrow, and it starts here against the United.
So finally, E United pick up a couple of kills that go in their favor. That's 2-3 dead now from Cloud9, and they'll be able to flip things around. Not only flip it around a little bit, but they're also going to put Eco maybe the death screen as well. It's a triple cap for E United, which might be their way back into this game. But for now, we're going to leave this game, Andy. I believe we're going to go back to a feature on our main game that's on the main stage. Obviously, that game will continue over on our other streams if you want to check out what's going to happen between Cloud9 and E United. But for now, we turn our attentions back to Streets, back to Oddball, and back to who is going to go ahead in this series.
I mean, this is unbelievable. If you ask the players on Native Red if they would find themselves at this stage, I don't even know. I mean, these are confident players, but I don't even know if they would have predicted themselves on the main stage here on Saturday evening. But guess what? Now they have all the confidence in the world. They also had, let's not forget, about a 7-kill lead in that Slayer. They let it go, though, and now the series is tied 1-1. Game number 3 going to be Oddball on Streets.
Well, it's time to get into game number 3. And for both of these teams, it is a massive, massive game. Momentum, confidence, all you can ask for. All comes with a series lead, a chance to move towards Championship Sunday. And of course, that winner's bracket final where Optic Gaming sit there waiting to find out who their opponent's going to be. We're live now. We're starting off with some Falcon.
Also important to mention, FaZe Clan undefeated in Oddball this tournament. They have not played this exact game time yet. Undefeated so far, and it's because of shots like that from Falcon.
Okay, it's just robotic sometimes with his battle rifle. Now moving his attention towards mid-map. That's where the Rockets are going to be in just a moment. A player from Native Red turns away, and that's going to cost him here. Falcon knows where Manny is, blows him to smithereens, or maybe just enough damage for a teammate to come in and take him down. 2-4 for Native Red.
Falcon getting crafty there with those rocket angles onto pillars. The thrust is also going to help him get the job done. But Cafe spawns in back A are going to pinch him here in PD. Nice teamwork from Native Red. That was 3 dead momentarily for FaZe Clan.
A bit of scrappy time here for Native Red as well. You can see they've got already 12 points on the board. Druck's got a shotgun. He's got a bulldog. The thing's starting to do what it does best, which is win those short-range engagements. 2-4 for FaZe, make it 3. As Manny's now hunting down the last one. He knows Falcon is in arcade, and he's like, you know what? You can stay there, because I've got the op ball in my hands, and I know where my teammates are.
Native Red outslaying by just a small margin here, 8-6, but it has still translated to a lot of points on the board. Already a quarter of the way done here, 25-0.
Renegade Certainly getting heated up here, but a couple of grenades maybe going to turn that one on its head. Torlik doesn't fancy any of that kind of business now as he moves towards his teammate in Soul Snipe. That damage coming in from mid-map from Spartan is enough to force the play ball, but it's almost a perfect start here. Coming in from Native Red, and look at this sneaky positioning here from Druk. All these players from FaZe, even though they get the kills, they forget about Druk. And you can't forget about this man, he's doing so much damage to these players now on FaZe.
Ooh, almost gets away with it too, but he does buy a lot of time. Let's see what happens here at the back of the base. The team is still going to push, and the kills will be traded out. Like you said, great time buying there by Druk in the back of PD.
Nick knows there's two players still alive. He knows he can't challenge as well, just because of the fact that he doesn't have the shields to play with, and this constant pressure that's coming in now from Native Red means that the game is going to open up once more. Rockets thrown away. Valkated versus Druk. A big kill here on the driveway might be good enough to open up a pink street opportunity for the push, but Manny now, having got that information, is their way once again here for Native Red.
Wow, what a start from Druk here. He's 5-4. He has the most assists, least deaths, and the most kills in the game, tied in a few of those categories. But that's such a great example, Mark, of why you stay alive as the last player alive. It buys your team so much extra time, and he makes sure that no points really go on the board for FaZe.
Renegade explodes up those B stairs. However, Soul Snipe is going to be there, but Renegade takes him down to the grave. While all this is going on, though, look at Druk. He's working a 9 to 5 right now. He's behind the desk with that odd ball in his hands. Finally, a few clients come in. He sends one to the grave with a little bit of a stick. Another trade comes in here from Manny. It's 2-2 once again, and I've got to say, Native do an incredible job at the moment at ensuring they're getting the trades and never allowing FaZe to feel comfortable with the setup.
They really are. Incredible objective plays so far from the side of Native Red. It's a nice win from Renegade. That's going to be 2 dead. Let's get on board now with Native Red here. They're up 59-9 and good to an Astro listening off of this 3 dead respawn.
He's on me. Are you sure? Yeah, no one's me. One shot plant still, Nick. Plants a cafe in top A. Plants cafe in top A.
Okay. Alright, I'm already tired.
Hey, one cafe on you, Manny.
Good breaks.
Focus goes.
What's up, PD?
Dead.
Nice, that's huge. I'm getting thirst.
Yeah, target weak.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's sitting tires. Stay tires still.
Still tires, guys, weak.
I'm netting.
Literally inside tires.
Need it.
Shotgun there.
He's one shot.
Watch out the corner.
Lucky PD, I'm lucky right.
Nice.
In 3 seconds. Alright, hear that.
Purple.
Could get down.
Purple, one shot, John. Watch out, he's dead.
Nice.
Living.
Bar reset.
Rocks, guys.
I shot him.
2 bodies, you guys. 2 bodies.
I'm taking B then.
Yo, front seat weak with soccer.
Alright, hear that.
Front seat weak with soccer. Yo, B sets, 2 sets.
Commando.
B sets, 1 shot. Let's go. Jump.
One shot. He's like 1 shot. Be real, guys. Use the tires.
Buy tires. That's live.
Again, the intensity is there as we jump back into the gameplay. Not only intensity, but also rockets. They're in the hands of Native Red, and look at this lead now, Andy.
Oh my god, so many things to talk about there. How about the fact when we go first into that listen and Druk has the hero play ball as the stealth man in behind enemy lines. The comms sound great. Right now they're actually getting outslayed by 2, but leading 67-12.
So good at picking up that scrappy time, and something you realized straight away was how FaZe Clan are really struggling to pick up that last player alive. That's been the problem for FaZe. Native just being elusive, being so sneaky, and being such a pain to get 4 dead.
Yeah, Native really prioritizing that last life, making sure that he either buys time, gets the damage, or does both. And in most cases, it has done both.
2 dead here for Native Red. FaZe need to get their hands on this oddball, though. There's only 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this game. Nick is going to force the ball back towards tower. And looks like he's got a little bit of cover here to work with as well. However, once again, it's Valkated who will fall first. Renegade answers back with a double of his own to even up the numbers on the map. Nick now moving this ball towards Spartan, who's locking down that pink street. I think that FaZe might be thinking about setting up for a rotate here, maybe towards Tram.
Looks like a Tram rotate here. We'll see if they're able to do it. Push does come in from Neon, and it's great damage coming in from Manny and Soul Snipe together. A double kill for Soul Snipe off the back of the damage.
You say Soul Snipe, I say Mr. Soul Snipe. That's the full name. And he's playing like, yeah, at the moment, he demands respect. As now you can see Native Red move within 15 points of closing out this first round here. Druk's picking up another set of rockets as well. Fires them into the abyss, and that helps Torlik to pick up 2.
Wow, look at that rocket, just knowing exactly where he needed to fire that. Maybe a little bit of screen watching as well to see the exact position of the opponents in back Tram. He will just hold driveway here. They're 13 points away from closing out the round.
Make that 10. FaZe one more push. Otherwise, you're 1 round away from going down in this series. Falcated gets 1, but that's not going to be time enough. Boom! Goes 1 player from FaZe, and 1 round on the board here for Native Red.
Wow. Unbelievable round there. Great control the entirety of the round. Like we said, the last player alive was the entire story of the entire game, and Native Red absolutely dismantling the entire FaZe roster time and time again with a solo player who was an absolute nuisance.
Into round number 2 then. Rockets, the last 2 or 3 sets of them always seem to go into the hands of Native Red, and off the rip here it's FaZe, who again find themselves 4 dead. That means Rockets will be picked up again by Native Red. That means the ball will be back in Tram. And without Falcated, this might have been a little bit more awkward, but somehow he gets out into a situation where he makes both Rockets get burned and picks up a kill.
Absolutely. We talked about the record here for FaZe Clan in Oddball. They're 3-0. What's even crazier about that round 1 win is Native Red is 0-3 in Oddball overall, yet they steal the round from FaZe Clan despite the winning record here. FaZe Clan needs to bounce back in a big way.
Renegade tasked at the moment, controlling Commando. Manny will stay alive. Looking for that jump back up at the moment. Drox should be dealt with here by Renegade. Picks up the perfect 4 shot. Still more damage to be done though. As you can see, other players falling around him. He knows that Native Red are inside a Tram at the moment. He's waiting for information, waiting for call-outs, but Native aren't going to give him the time of day. Renegade will fall, and once again, you're seeing the pressure continually applied here by Native Red.
Seemed like a case of Renegade staying alive as long as he could, but his teammates could not get the angles they needed fast enough. That leads to a 3 dead for FaZe. It will mean more points on the board here for Native.
All in the hands of Soul Snipe. Probably thinking about moving this one down to the pink streak. The only problem is you can see Falcated's read this one like a book. He's managed to pinch in with a teammate. King Nick will get the kill as well. However, immediately, Native Red, the aerial bombardment comes in from those frag grenades. A couple of players fall for them in the meantime, though, and FaZe finally have control, and it looks like they're starting to find somewhat of a flow here in this oddball game.
Renegade also still 16 kills on the board, leading the game in that category. Just about neck and neck here, 55 to 52 in terms of slays overall for Native Red. They've taken the lead in the slaying category, but they do find themselves losing the round number 2 here. It's also Rockets in the hands of Falcated.
FaZe starting to control a few more power weapons than they were in that previous round as well, and it's showing in that score, 29-4. Renegade not afraid to hold forward and be the bait for Falcated. He's also going to hold that ball. This is brilliant decision-making here. Just saying, you've got to kill me.
Look at that.
And here comes Falcated to keep his teammate alive and keep the ball in the hands of FaZe.
Absolutely beautiful from FaZe. That Renegade is not afraid to not only be your first guy in, but you don't want your Rocket player to be your first man in either. Just in case he gets double-naded, maybe back-black, maybe there's a player with a Bulldog. Lots of reasons to play it that way.
Oh!
Tolic, though, wins a 1v1. He should not have won from the tires. 1 dead for each side, making 2 for Native Red.
Something fascinating, just looking at the stats at the moment. I don't think anyone's either more than +2 or more than -2. Every single player is about even across the board. It really is fascinating to watch how tightly contested this is. Manny with 1, immediately traded out though.
We talked about Drugs numbers early on in round number 1. He is still 17 and 16 with 11 assists, still leading in all 3 categories.
Big push coming in here, and you mentioned Druk. He's opened the way again as FaZe lose 3 players. Renegade now, last player alive, trying to do some damage on that pink streak, but Tolic recognizing that situation should be able to just about get into the cells here at PD to hold that ball a few more seconds here for Native Red. But FaZe have a pretty monumental lead at this point in round number 2, 45-20. The amount of ball time they've had so far in this game is probably the furthest lead they've had.
Tolic wants to stay alive or maybe try to get that ball just out a little bit if he can. They need to work together here. 2 were dead. Druk, your last player alive.
Druk falls as well. Renegade with his hands on the oddball, and FaZe starting to show a little bit more life here. They cross that 50-point mark, and now the pressure moves back onto the shoulders of Native Red. They know they're chasing this round.
That's a better example there from FaZe, right? They make sure to kill Druk immediately. Druk gets taken down. That last kill was prioritized a lot faster. That has translated on the scoreboard now at 54-24.
Rockets are going to be the focus now for both teams as well. Tonic just about escapes. As Falcated, now as last player alive, decides the oddball is the play. He's going to have to give up those rockets here. And by doing so, will fall as well. The oddball down in PD, and with rockets already back here towards the tower, this should be a ball time grab and a little bit of an opportunity for Native Red to maybe tie this game up.
Turns out they serve rockets in heaven. Falcated found that out the hard way. 54 to 35 now as they start to rally back. It's a good rocket, and the shield's going to help with that one as well. Eventually, 2 dead for both sides.
Another trade. Soul Snipe, watching it all happen, decides it's time to get out of the war zone and run towards a teammate spawning. Valkyria trying to cut him off though. Valkyria takes some damage. Big win coming in though. From the man we mentioned. Now Nick tries to hold forward. No strucks, no shields, but doesn't know Manny's coming around the corner as well. Does he get the stick? No, he doesn't. 2 more players from FaZe in the arcade as well, but they're not playing games. They're trying to clear these last few players out, but at the moment you can just see it's constant trades as FaZe finally get hold of that ball. But look how odd this setup is at the moment. The ball's been held on the B stairs.
Yeah, it's based off of that play ball from Soul Snipe out of BRK to get that ball to B stairs. They're definitely causing a little bit of chaos for the side of FaZe. However, they have capitalized and regained control. Now here at the 70 to 41 mark, Valkated just going to hold down, but a lot of players pushing across bottom middle.
Having not seen anything for a few seconds, Valkated knows he has to reposition. The Bulldog will be enough to take down Manny on the B stairs. Another player going to be Tonic. He'll be dealt with as well, and now the attention turns to keeping his teammate Spartan alive. 71 to 41. Spartan trying to hold off a push from 2 players. Valkayed's going to see that. Now he knows he's under pressure. Native Red trying to hunt him down, and they find the kill.
Valkayed tries to play that ball just towards his spawning teammates. Was trying to go for a thrust into Red Room maybe with that Bulldog. Could have converted on another kill. In the end, he does not. 2 dead for both sides. Rockets here in the hands of King Nick.
Takes the shields away, but not the life. 2 rockets, no kills, and Manny challenges to get the kill as well. Frantic moments in this game.
Oh
Native Red know that if they can turn this round on its head and close this game out, that this will be the biggest opportunity of the year for them to be in that winners finals. But FaZe have still got something to say about that.
A lot of pressure on Soul Snipe, man. He's still holding forward though, even though they had 3 teammates dead. He needs to be careful. He's behind him though.
King Nick has absolutely no idea where Manny is.
Wow.
Perfect shots, a couple of spikers, and maybe thinking about running this ball back, but it's a little bit of a desperate play. They did not have the kills they needed in that situation.
2 dead for both sides. Soul Snipe tries to just play the ball up the stairs. He's not able to. That's going to be a ball grab for Renegade. He's actually going to play it front C and look to regain control of Tram.
10 seconds left in the round here, and it's such a smart play from Renegade. Putting that ball in a position where Native have to overextend if they want to extend this game, if they want to win this game. And now it's got some work to do. A couple of kills go down either side, but it's not enough for Native Reds to slow down FaZe Clan. We're going to a final deciding round here.
Of course we are here. Sudden death, their final round is going to decide this one. These 2 teams neck and neck. It's a much better round for FaZe Clan. They're really starting to have great late game management in terms of the scoreboard as well as the clock.
Tied up a 1-1. We wouldn't have it any other way here. On the craziest Saturday that Seattle has seen for quite some time. Early on, Rockets picked up by Manny. Once again, it's Native Red with the superior opening strategy to lock down the power weapons. Martin's going to bait out another one. Manny will connect.
By the way, the slaying department is unbelievable across this game right now. You have FaZe Clan outslaying by 1 with 92 kills over Native Red's 91. Absolutely unbelievable so far just how tight these teams are. Now ball's going to go ahead and fall all the way back to back A on board with Renegade Stalker in hand.
FaZe have a hold here. There's King Nick with the ball in his hands. A little bit of a slow round, that one for Nick. You can see everyone was kind of within the 0 vicinity for KD. Now Nick finds himself at 15 and 26. However, if he had that ball in his hands, if he's the one with the objective time, it looks like that is indeed the case with 58 points. Renegade trying to do what he can. Almost managed to break through, but Soul Snipe equals it up.
Valkyrie is your last player alive. What kind of carnage can he cause? He's all the way in tires. It's a tough angle, and he gets punished. But FaZe Clan has PD spawners here. They can formulate another push in just a moment.
Rotate now coming in from Native Red. It's an opportunity for us to jump into the comms of Astro Gaming. It's a listening time with Native Red.
I'm just walking,
One shot B stairs, just 2. One shot B stairs, 3 B stairs, 3 B stairs, 3 B stairs.
Yo,
One shot. One's grabbed already, John. One's grabbed already. Nice, John's in C. John's in C.
One in mid.
Rocks in 10, Rocks in 10.
Under another there, I think.
Watch it, never done, guys.
Yeah, time's up.
He's on me.
I can have 2 seconds. I can have 2 seconds.
Okay, still top heavy, still top heavy.
I'm gonna smoke.
I'm looking at this. I heard you.
Nice.
Rockets, yeah. I'm looking at it. It's top A. Jumping out.
I have shot.
Jumping out front A.
Hey, Johnny, watch out.
Nice, one.
He's got shots.
Nice, shoot it.
My friend's here something.
Ivy.
I don't see him.
Mom team.
That spot, help him.
Nice.
Nice, man.
We're purple. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab ball. We're getting ball.
I'm just living here. I'm just living heavy with shotgun.
I'm all purple.
You might be back, Drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold it towards one.
I hear them see.
Yeah, baby, under baby.
Hey, they're C.
Yeah.
I'm
Much take.
Got one.
Nice.
Bottom C, middle C.
Headshot C. He has Ivy shotgun. And thrust.
Okay, guys, and like,
I'm trying to
Yeah, I like that. I like
cut you in. Hollows in. One purple weak. Nice good shit, man. One more back in. Good shit, man.
Well, back into the game. We're out of the listening, and one thing to note here is the scoreline. It's Native Red who have managed to eke a lead out 44 points as Soul Snipe, Mr. Soul Snipe, reintroduces himself.
Two still dead for FaZe. They're going to likely rotate this ball back to A here as the tram spawns are coming in as well. Native pulling away by just a little bit. It's 109 to 106 in total slays.
52 to 19. FaZe have work to do if they want to take this round. It's an opportunity now, having heard from Native Rev, to see how FaZe Clan are going to formulate that. Let's jump into an Astro listening with FaZe.
Yeah, watch our tires also. Tower. Last guy's back tower. Dead. All dead. Get time. All four dead. He just won. He's killing me.
What's your name? You're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
That's fine.
Yeah, you have an aid.
Yeah, turn it.
I have Stalker, guys.
Watch out.
We'll see.
Give me.
I got it. Alright, stop fuck up. Driveway one shot drop. Yeah, Mike's saying purple. Does anyone have like one doesn't arcade? Yeah.
Purple, watch out. So side. Weapon launcher, guys.
There's a guy arcade.
Rocket soon.
We need kills. Nice. Arcade tall's weak. I hit him with a stalker. Tires to plant. Tires. Two guys planters. Two planters.
I'm getting rocket sun.
Sorry.
What's that tires on me?
Nice. Keep arcade one shot tall like that. Another guy. Let's go. Cafe, let's go.
Yeah, watch out me. Mike, kill me. He's absolutely.
I'm going back here. Nice. On me, PD maybe? I recross.
No. Slid it.
Two.
They're trolling, guys.
Yeah, they're literally trolling.
Alright, stabilize. We're good.
I'm trying to PD. Watch, do the PD thing.
Mike, purple now, Mike. Look purple. Tires.
Guys.
I'm doing nades. I'm trying to keep you alive, Mike. Yeah, he killed you.
Get me.
You guys have to fight.
Bottom me. Bottom me. Nice.
We're back into the game, and FaZe are back into a lead here. But just as we say that, Native Red, they bust through, they managed to get the kills. FaZe 3 dead, and Native go back into a lead.
This is the non-stop pressure we talked about from Native Red. Even though their first player falls, their second player falls, it doesn't matter. They keep the aggression up. They are now back in the lead. They're just forcing those caution, those music pushes into PD, and they are scoring 20 points away from closing the game.
So close now for Native Red. This is the last push for FaZe. First kill is going to be traded out. Renegade with another. Druck now with his Stalker rifle in his hands. No, he has to play a defensive play style here because all of FaZe are flying. If he can pick one up, it might be huge. He gets the trade, but where is that oddball? It's down on the statue as Soul Snipe turns his attention towards it.
A very big trade there. Once again, FaZe was doing so well with the management. However, Cafe spawns come in for FaZe. This is huge.
That is massive for FaZe Clan. They have a life, but do they have time to get a touch on the ball? Yes, they do. Massive from Nick. No reset here for Native Red. FaZe still in this game.
Wow, look at this. They're going to trade bottom middle. One dead for each side as well. Native Red wants to keep the pace up. They want to keep pushing forward. They lead by 12 here.
2v2 on the map. King Nick is getting challenged on tower as well. Druck with the shotgun picks up one. More kills being traded. Druck on such an important run at the end of this game. With a minute and 30 left on this game. Whoever wins this fight might win this game, and Tolic has the rockets.
Who else but Tolic? The man has stepped up all weekend long. He's been a huge part. He doesn't get the second rocket off, though. Falcated gonna grab that rocket on benches here.
Oh my word.
A double kill for Foul. It was 2 dead for FaZe, so he needs to play this carefully.
Throws the ball back to a teammate. Falcated with a killing spree when it matters. But it's 2v2 on the map. But Renegade has the ball in his hand here for FaZe.
What kind of push does Native Red have here? This is full control for FaZe Clan in the back. Going to be a push here on driveway side.
Renegade realizes he can't pick up that ball right now. They don't have the numbers to do so. Renegade's taken down. 2 members of FaZe fall as well with 60 seconds left on the clock. It's Native Red who break through this tram setup.
Take down Spartan as well. There, the kill will come in. 2 dead here for FaZe. Druck's still going to be holding the ball. Now only 15 points away from closing out the game.
FaZe find themselves 2 dead. Native Red find themselves within 10 seconds.
The spikes hit hard.
of going up 2-1 in this game. Nick comes through though. Manny.
It's all to Manny.
Manny trying to hold the line, but there is Renegade.
Oh my God, the
What is happening here?
The perfectly timed spikes in the back of the Commando. Now FaZe will continue holding. They are down here by 13 points, 38 seconds left on the clock.
Spartan picks up a kill. That's the first kill in the fight though. 3v3 on the map. Where is the push about to come in from Native Red?
Here, look at this. Going to be see a lead change here. One dead for FaZe, but they will go into the lead.
92-92. They don't even get the second lead in. Native Red bust through. They get the ball in their hands.
That is going to be it here. Look at this, King Nick, your last player alive. Time will tick down.
Time will tick down, and with that push, it's Native Red who continue this incredible run. One more game for Native Red, and they will be in the winners' finals tomorrow against Optic.
You and I were talking about this. The fact that this felt like a must-win during the listen-in. That game felt like a must-win for Native Red if they are to take down FaZe. And now just one game away from closing out the series. And it would be added to the list of unbelievable upsets that have already been recorded here on day number 2 at the Halo World Championships.
I don't think my heart can take this.
Nope. The boys on Native Red, though, they're playing like they got nothing to lose and all the confidence in the world. They've already taken down Cloud9 in a reverse sweep. Now they're one game away from taking down FaZe Clan, 2 of the biggest organizations and best teams in the world.
I mean, I'm saying my heart can't take this, but the 4 gentlemen on your stage we're looking at right now, Native Red, are playing with nothing but heart at the moment. The end of that game is about as close an oddball game as you can get. To have the ice, to have the steel, to break through that FaZe Clan setup in those final moments and just wrestle that game away. Aquarius CTF is where we head next.
I got good news for you. FaZe Clan 1-0 in this game type. Native Red 0-1.
Of course.
So if the records are any indicator,
Of course it is.
We might be going to a game number 5. This has been an unbelievable Saturday here, day number 2 of the Halo World Championship. Whether you're joining us in the room or from home, we thank you so much. We hope you're having a great day and enjoying these series just as much as we are. This has been an absolute banger to end out the day. Game number 4 could decide the series, or if FaZe is able to pull out the win, we'll go to a game 5. Let's take a look at the highlights from that absolutely unbelievable 3 rounds of Oddball Streets.
I've never seen such a hectic game of Oddball Streets. Just kill for kill for kill. Nobody able to ever really secure what felt like full map control. It was just 2v2s most of the time. 2 players watching in the death screen. 2 players fighting out with the other 2 players who were alive on the other team. It was just absolute mayhem. As we did see, of course, FaZe win that second round. And I've got to say, Native Red, I'm impressed, beyond impressed with the steel they showed, the resilience they showed. A lot of teams would not have made that push right at the end. Native Red, kind of looking like they're built a bit different here.
They are. I mean, look at Druk. He goes 39 and 34 with 21 assists. He leads the game in kills and leads the game in assists. An absolute pop-off game from him. And like you said, these last breaks were absolutely crucial for the side of Native Red.
The killing spree from Falcated towards the end. This is where we thought, maybe, just maybe, FaZe would win it, but they didn't get into that lead. Renegade doesn't get that kill, and that is the margins we are playing with here in Seattle. Absolutely incredible series, and we ain't done yet, everyone. Aquarius capture the flag. It's your game number 4. Can FaZe answer back, or will Native Red pull off the impossible?
And as we said, Native Red had been 0-3 in Oddball before that match up against a 3-0 FaZe Clan in the game type. They've done it before. They've won a game type they never won against the winning record of FaZe. Can they do it here and close out the series on Saturday night? Camo in hand for Manny.
How do FaZe bounce back? Can they bounce back? Seems like to win a game and a series here at the Halo World Championships, you have to be prepared to go the distance. Druk takes down King Nick. No real semblance of map control for either team at the moment, but there's the thrust. And the 1-2 punch with the heat wave coming in from Drug.
Native Red just so much momentum. Off of that last game, you can already feel it here with the way they're playing this. And to be honest, it's been a day of momentum for this team. After they started that run, they have looked hot all day. And now FaZe backs against the wall. Winner's bracket life on the line. It's an opening killing spree for Drug.
Drug just frying 2 members of FaZe clan inside of the closet. Now he's still got the opportunity to push because he's got that heat wave, big damage there onto one player. Smartly backed up. I love this from Drug. He's been a little bit guilty in the past of maybe being overly aggressive in those exact type of situations. Sees the player in front of him, tries to get the job done immediately, but he knew he didn't have the support in that circumstance. Rotates back to the top middle, does the damage, waits for the team to pick up a little bit of the space that was left behind him, and makes the correct play in that situation. 6-1 at the start of this game for Drug, but here come FaZe.
Look at that play from Drug. Look at that play from Drug. He spawns back base, and he flies out like a maniac to go all the way to pink side. In the end, he gets punished, but he buys his team a little bit of time.
Okay, and again with some clean shots. FaZe starting to pressure the base.
Back to
4 dead here for Native Red. A massive chance for a clean flag run here from FaZe. Nick can't get out though. Falcane picks up 1. 2 players still in the death screen. Native Red scrapping to see if they can stop this flag. With the way that FaZe are running this, it's looking like FaZe might strike first.
They're going to skip the straight stairs. He goes straight up. He has all the cover in the world. FaZe Clan on the board first here. In Aquarius CTF, they will lead 1-0.
And that'll just steady the nerves a little bit here for FaZe. The heartbreak of that insanely close loss in the previous game. Sometimes it can force a little bit of a hangover into game number 4, but that flag just kind of puts that to bed. A little bit of a trade going down here. Native Red find themselves 3 dead. Tolik trying to stay alive, but look at the pressure now coming in from FaZe.
Doing what he can here. Luckily, he has some teammates spawning, so help will be on the way for him, and they will be able to trade out the kill against Renegade. Mark, we talk about margins here. Fantastic shot from Tolik on the Dynamo side. We talk about margins. That last game was a 137 slays to 136. Wow. In favor of Native Red. It could not have been closer. In this game, Native Red came out with a huge slaying lead, but FaZe has answered back. Now they lead 22-20 overall.
Great shots again from Tolik. King Nick had the thrust in that situation. Tolik now 7-4. FaZe know that he's here. They're trying to force him out, trying to force a little bit of map control. If times this right, there might be a little bit of help and the Dynamos to play with. Falcane trying to finish him off. There's 3 players here, but Falcane, he's not backing down until he meets Tolik.
Tolik, look at that, just patience there on the Dynamo side. Knows he has 2 Dynamos, 2 dead for FaZe as well. The nades are coming in. If Banny can get through here in the util, he should be home free to get at least to mid-map. That was 2 dead, but they're going to need to slay on the way back.
I mean, Banny's made of some sort of goo as he managed to wriggle his way around all of those grenades that just flew in without taking barely any damage whatsoever. But it's a scrappy pull here. Coming in from Native Red, they don't really have the resources in place to push this one home. FaZe should be able to return this. Yes, they do indeed.
You can just tell the way that Native Red wants to play it, right? It looks just like their streets oddball. They want to fly out. They want to fly fast. They want to catch FaZe off guard. So far, not able to do it as FaZe is looking strong here in game number 1. Only 1 flag on the board, though, in just over 4 minutes of play.
Continual pressure, though, from Falcane. Sidekick good enough to do some damage as well. Quick. Drip away those shields. Spartan gets the camo off the back of it now. Can FaZe make a play off the back of it? Spartan is fully locked and loaded. Heat wave camo. Just trying to find some targets to play with.
He's got all the tools to play with. FaZe down 1-0 lead. Camo and heat wave in hand. Let's go do an Astro listening with FaZe Clan.
What's he doing?
Our fridge.
Peter. Is he on the flag? Yes, he does.
Still in our fridge.
Two solid. I got
Yeah, was that
Another guy in the window. Window
That's
peek 2.
it.
Is he from this?
Yeah.
I'll be Carl against solid.
Rock, watch out their troops.
I got solid. Good trick. I lost the Dynamo hard.
Get up top. Can we get up top?
There's one guy in their engine. There's one guy in engine going high hall. He went high hall.
Okay.
They're spawning engine. I'm saying they're picking.
We through you two. Soulsmith. 2 there. I got melted. Don't die.
Two on that.
There's a guy. Car 1. Watch out our car 1 here.
Watch out the window.
It's all you right now, Don.
Yo, tell card. Soul side. Tell card. Soul side.
Yeah, 2 guys on guard. Two
Are
guys
they hitting our high?
No, not yet. 2 guys start there.
That's card. We got card. Our door now. I think you got time.
I got a melee.
Nice.
Watch out, Dinos. Another guy on our E until on Mike. We can already still.
Yeah,
back up, John.
You can go up here if we need
Hey,
to.
two, Benny.
I'm looking at you.
Watch out, P2 mini. Watch out, P2 mini.
Alright, go help John.
I'm here, John.
I don't see him. I don't see him
I
anywhere.
got instant melted. The 2
Hey, he's
P2.
here. He's here.
Nated him, John.
P1 and P2. P1 and P2. Our fridge one shot. Nice.
Talik was our P-Lines. Talik was our P-Lines.
He stuck me. What the fuck?
Talik, watch your back. Watch your back.
Another one in bottom
Yeah,
end,
pulling. And bottom of one end.
Nice though. They won't make us.
Good shit,
Camo
guys.
5 after
From
this.
base on front sweep.
Challenge.
I cannot get re guys.
I got it. There was a guy in
We can see FaZe still sound in pretty good spirits, and understandably so. There's still one up in this game. Native Red, though, that was a big chance for them to maybe look for an equalizing.
It looked like it was going to be. That was 3 dead. You even heard in the listen, and maybe FaZe thought it was going to be a run, but Nick with a hero spawn, double kill grenade to stop the flag. That will keep the score at 1-0.
2 camos in a row as well here for FaZe. There's that heat wave again. They're trying to be massive here for Native Red. That's exactly what comes in. As FaZe find themselves in a position now where they don't make the most of the camo once again.
2 dead for both sides here. Native Red's done well to stay close in this game. It's 49-45 in the slaying department in favor of FaZe. However, we do need to see a flag on the board from Native Red. FaZe Clan right now just playing that Slayer game, but you feel like Native Red maybe fighting at the heels here, keeping this game close.
You just feel like Native Red only need one shot
Yep.
to get that flag moving. Here comes Soul Snipe. He's being aggressive. Can he get up the straight stairs? No, he can't. He's mowed down just before. Manages to ascend right to the top of the flag. Druk now trying to put more pressure in. It's a 2v2 on the map. Looks like Druk doesn't have the information of where those players are until now.
Able to pick up one. That was 2 dead momentarily for FaZe before the spawners. Dynamo's in hand as well. Looks like they'll tick, tick, tick just a bit as well. Here comes the push from Soul Snipe.
Most of FaZe just trapped on the car side at the moment. No grenades to flush them out though. There's one pick from Soul Snipe. Tawley now trying to move in as well. Finally some pressure. 2 players though from FaZe holding the back of the base. It's Renegade and Felcated. They hold strong.
Very nice job there. Good teamwork there. Felcated brought down to no shields. He also has to work together. He's able to pick up another one. There's a third. It's Druk in the util. A 1v1 between these 2 players. Equally matched at the end. That will be a trade. Here comes Nick to make sure there's no scraps around. We'll have to now work on Soul Snipe and bottom Dynamo.
It's a dangerous game here that FaZe are playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Continual pressure from Native Red. Continually having to fight out of their base, and that's just due to Native Red playing the map control game so well at the moment. The camo might be the difference though. 3 in a row of the back of the double for Renegade.
Really great stuff here. Gotta also mention Tusk behind the FaZe Clan roster. New coach on this roster as Taui moves to a management role, and so far he looks pretty good in this game, managing all the power-ups. Not just the best he can, but right now it's total control in the power-up category.
Big damage coming in from Renegade. Big information gathered as well. Now he's moving in. Soul Snipe gets taken down. One more player alive here to deal with here for FaZe, but they can't deal with him. And it's a defensive play this time that comes in from Native Red. Not for the first time. We've seen FaZe not make the most of the camo as Druk moves forward. That heat wave 2 is still dead here for FaZe.
3 dead yet again. Renegade was your first spawner. He's going to have Nick and Falcated in the back of the base here. Native Red knows they need to strike together. 3 minutes left on the clock. Like you said, it's a dangerous game. Can FaZe stave them off for 3 more minutes?
At the moment, Druk is just trying to think about what angle he wants to attack the base from. Trying to get in a position where he can take a route which gets his shields back. It's still 2 dead here for FaZe. Keep your eye on that kill feed. If more players fall as this flag is moving, there's an opportunity, a chance here for Native Red to maybe tie this game up. Druk's still alive, but finally hunted down by Renegade.
Renegade sniffs him out there. The kills will be traded out in the end, but that's a huge kill in the back of the base from Renegade. Now 3 dead for Native Red. Talik, last player alive.
Horrible position to be in as well. He's last alive. He's across the map, but FaZe are running his flag as well. Smart decides to double back and challenge that.
I don't know. I think he had the freedom to go. And that flag's going to be down here. It's all about the kill feed now.
Druk trying to move in. Druk gets 1 kill, but where's the rest of Native Red? They're in the death screen at the moment.
All 4.
And it looks like 4 players have fallen. FaZe get their hands on the flag. And with 2 minutes left in this game, they could double the lead. And with 1 flag on the board, it's felt like it's been impossible for Native Red to break into the base. With 2, it seems like that might be the game.
2-0 to FaZe Clan here, and now with only 1:51 on the clock, they will strike and maybe be the salt in the wound, the final dagger in this game. Type of double kill though for many. They would need to start hitting the gas immediately if they want to come back in this game. In the end, that run looked good, but 2 dead. Here goes Manny.
Druk's got the cover for him here. 1 minute 30 left in this game. We've seen double caps, we've seen triple caps, we've seen the opportunities present themselves to get back into the game for teams who seem completely out of it. Here on Aquarius, capture the flag. Soul Snipe with the camo has such a huge responsibility though. Does he prioritize the kills? Does he prioritize the touch? He goes for kills. He'll go for the touch. He'll do it all.
Right now, Camel's gonna run out, but he's able to get 2 kills and a touch on the flag, as you say. However, Nick is flying at him, and he only has 1 more player alive.
Respawn's coming from FaZe. They've all rotated to B. They realize how important this flag is to stop. If they can deny this flag going in, then FaZe might be in a position to send us to a game 5. They send the flag home.
Look at that now, man. He's your last player alive. He might get the kill, but he will not get the flag. 45 seconds left, still 2-0. And FaZe Clan was playing a dangerous game, but they were playing it well. And right now, it's all FaZe Clan all the way. 40 seconds left.
Renegade gets one inside of the base as well. Great news for FaZe Clan fans. Nick just playing defensively as well with alongside Falcated. A bit of damage taken from that Dynamo grenade, but he's in a great position here, just to hold the line. If he can survive these grenades, he's going to get guaranteed damage on anyone pushing.
The gatekeeper here, just holding down the connector. Soul Snipe, though, gets 2.
2 kills. Make it 3. 3 players fall from FaZe Clan, but with 4 seconds left on the clock, they know the job is done. FaZe send us, without any surprise in the world, to a game number 5.
Is there any other way the series could have gone?
There isn't.
I don't think so. I think maybe we wished it and manifested it into existence with how much we were saying we wanted a game 5, but I think everybody here in the room and everyone watching at home also wanted to end Saturday night with a game of number 5 as well. And we got to take a look at the records for these teams on Catalyst Slayer. Neither team has played this game type yet this tournament, but both are undefeated in game 5s.
And both of them, of course, winning game 5s to get themselves into this position. FaZe back in Orlando. Game 5 they didn't win. Pool player gets Optic Gaming. Native Red, so many times been on the losing end of a heartbreaking game 5 loss to fall out of the tournament. It's a chance here for them to write that narrative, to keep their story going in the winner's bracket. And for FaZe, it's a chance to prove that maybe they belong in the conversation of a potential Halo World Champion.
Absolutely. Now take a look at some of the highlights of that game. That was your first flag that came in for FaZe, and they played the slaying and control game all game long, doing it so well, and you thought there were moments. Look at this double kill from Nick. Are you kidding me? Spawns there on Pink 1, just flies right in and picks up the double kill he needed to stop that flag dead. That would have been a game-tying flag.
FaZe, the most impressive thing for me with the way that FaZe played in that game was just the resilience inside of their base. We saw Native Red sat up in the halfway mark, pressurizing the base, pressurizing the closets for what felt like the majority of that game. But FaZe held strong. Native Red didn't even get a cap on the board. Right? It was 2 opportunities that was all that was needed for FaZe to win that game. 2 flag pulls, maybe 3 in total. And they win the game 2-0. Game 5 here in Seattle. We wouldn't finish what has been a crazy Saturday any other way. First to 50 is gonna win it. Slayer Catalyst is on the menu.
And look at these 2 teams alternating games all the way through. It's been an absolute bloodbath between these 2 squads, and what a series it's been so far. And I think Native Red continuing to make the Cinderella story happen. The question is, does it end here, or will we see them advance on?
We do have an update for you as well. If you haven't caught some of the other streams and other action that's going on, Cloud9 still alive. They are still alive in the tournament. They pick up a 3-0 win against E United in that series. E United falling out of the tournament. They do not make Championship Saturday.
Can you believe it?
Sunday. But Championship Sunday.
But you're right to get confused because it's insane that we see them going home on Saturday. I couldn't agree more. Cloud9 will knock out E United. We will not see E United on Championship Sunday. They will exit here on Saturday evening, and probably the least likely expectation that they had for this tournament here. That will be the end of their season. Cloud9 will look ahead to the rest of the elimination bracket tomorrow. It's a 3-0 win for C9.
And looking at the stats there, Bound and Eco standout performance without a doubt. Look at the bound damage as well, 16K. The only player in the lobby to break that damage barrier. So Cloud9's still alive, and still certainly a scary proposition for whoever has to go up against them. And of course, whoever that's going to be, we might find out in a few minutes' time. But for now, we've got to focus ahead to what we've got on our main stage. What a day it's been. I keep talking about it, Andy, but it's almost like I can't believe every single series we've had. I have to kind of say it out loud again and again and again to remind ourselves of what we've been through, what we've seen, what we've enjoyed. And now we get to go to what will be the final Game 5 of the day to see who is going to go through to that winners final.
I mean, it really has been an unforgettable Saturday here at the Halo World Championships in Seattle, and I could say in going on 2 decades of Halo, I cannot remember a Saturday that was quite like this. I don't think we'll forget this day in a long time, and I mean, what a way to put a bow on this day here, to have a 2-2 series between these squads. Native Red fighting for another unbelievable upset. FaZe Clan fighting for their winner's bracket life, and I mean, just back and forth between these 2 squads for the entire series.
And if you needed something maybe to whet the appetite for tomorrow, not like you did, if you've watched any of the Halo that's been on display today, first game on the main stage tomorrow will be Cloud9 versus Sentinels.
Wow.
Absolute banger to start the day tomorrow. Get up, make sure that you got your coffee for that one. You do not want to miss it. But before we get there, of course, we got to decide who's going to go through.
Let's remind ourselves of the story here of Native Red. These guys came bursting onto the scene. And we said about them about a year ago, is they're so good we can't ignore them. They got top 8, they got top 6, they started pushing for top 4. The question is, what were they gonna do? FaZe Clan here, representing in a big way in Seattle. But for the side of Native Red, the Dreamers all season long, people wondered after Orlando, is this team maybe not what we thought they were? Is this the end of their run? And they have told us absolutely not. The dream continues for Native Red, the young guns, who quite frankly have stolen the hearts of many, and they might even steal a win off of FaZe.
It's very, very true indeed. On the other side of the stage, though, we're talking stories, we're talking about a lineup that was put together to win a championship. Renegade leaves Cloud9, finds himself on this FaZe roster alongside Spawn, Falcated. Nick comes in as that final piece of the puzzle to put them in a position which they believe formulates that squad to go on and win a championship. That's the story of both these teams coming into this event. And that is exactly the story for both of these teams coming into a deciding game in the series, which will send them in to the winners finals.
An absolutely wild story, like you said, for both sides of the stage here. And Talik, what a tournament he's had. What a day number 2 he's had.
What a player he is.
Earlier today, I think we saw 19-9 from him in the game in this series. And like we said, a player who's been talked about on the analyst desk all year long, and I think now we're seeing for good reason just why we talked about him so much. Let's also not forget, this Native Red roster broke up just a few months ago, right? Manny leaving the squad. It was Manny leaving the squad to go to E United, and they make the decision to get back together. And I think that decision is now not being questioned at all. Now we see what their potential was, and now they're on the cusp of even greater things than just a C9 upset. Now they're 1 game away from taking down FaZe as well and staying alive in the winner's bracket.
Hey, sometimes breakups are difficult, right? But true love always finds a way. They're back together.
It does.
It's time for us to go here for Game 5. The stories have been told. It's time for us to close out the final game, the final series of the day. I just want to thank both these teams for the entertainment they put on for us today. Native Red, a chance for yet another upset, another scalp. For FaZe, a chance to show they have championship form. Catalyst, Slayer, first to 50 will be here tomorrow in that winners finals.
Here we go, we're underway, 12 minutes on the clock, first to 50 kills. Let's take a look at Renegade stats here. 1.55 map, 2 KD, unbelievable so far. Let's see what he can do in this Slayer. As a reminder, these 2 teams undefeated in game number 5. Only 1 team can still say that after this game.
Strong start here from FaZe, couple forward from Native Red, and they get the first overshield of the game. It's 2-2 though. A couple of trades actually go down. Love this from Spawn, trying to get aggressive. Notices a player behind it, but Talik rips that shield away. Spawn survives with a grapple back to the safety of his teammates.
Talik almost takes him down. It's a great effort really from both sides. Talik able to green gun the overshield away. Spartan also able to come away alive. 3-2 now, just a minor advantage in favor of FaZe. And now when we look at these two teams, we think about the Game 2 Slayer mark. That slowed down and FaZe took that game. Catalyst is even a slower map at times. Will that play once again into FaZe's favor?
You can argue that it's going to play in a very similar way as well. A lot of the action will be based around who is controlling the skewer. Druck has it at the moment for Native Red, until of course that overshield is going to be coming up. That's the power up which is going to force movement around this map. For now, Druck is the POV to watch. He is the man who controls where the options are for FaZe to move, what angles they're going to be able to push. And if he can hit one shot, that's going to be another kill going into the favor of Native Red.
And with this much on the line, not just in prize money, but also prestige, this one is likely to really play it slow down with two teams really respecting one another. You're not going to see a lot of unnecessary damage taken outside of the overshield drops. That's really what's going to anchor this game.
3-3, by the way. 2 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Game on an absolute knife edge. 3 players going to push Druck. Decides not to pull the trigger. Decides he's going to try and escape instead. King Nick trying to support his teammates. The help does arrive though. Manny gets the pick. Falcao going to challenge. Druck with a win. Spartan trying to stay alive, but Manny gets another. 3-4 for FaZe.
Oh my God, it's clinical here. Overshield grab as well for Soul Snipe, a 4-kill lead. That's exactly what they needed. And as we said, it's really going to be focused around these overshields. Even though 3 players push from FaZe on the flank against Soul Snipe, they come away with the kills. They come away with the overshield as well. They now lead by 4.
Okay, it manages to get one, as does Spartan though. Closes the gap ever so slightly. They pick up the surrounding players that aren't Soul Snipe with that overshield. Ooh, the skewer just clips the ear, but does not remove the head or the body of Soul Snipe here. The overshield's starting to look like it's not going to be one to be used in an effective way, but Native Red will be fine with this. They still have that lead. They know that FaZe have that skewer. The last thing they want to do is get picked.
This is high intensity Halo here. Still only 3 kills separating these two. And as we said, this is going to be played slower than maybe any game you've seen on the main stage because of what is on the line here. Let's get ready for an Astro listening to hear the comms on the side of Native Red.
They see yeah, there's two. One to one side, back flag, John, kill. Flag grab, please.
I got stuck.
Buckets, watch out. Watch out. Yeah, I'm probably dead. I'm on scare.
That's one red.
Top commando. Who's that?
We split up there, remember? We're hitting shit. 20 seconds. OS. Keep him here. One dead, go low.
Yeah, OB10.
They're B spikes.
Yeah, I can grapple if you have fucking grapple.
Alright.
I can grapple from B side.
I have repulse. Hold her flank.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm playing one more.
I'm shooting.
They're grappled there.
Look at you. Shoot skewers. One shot, one fine.
I'm many.
Okay, peek.
Next to you.
So did I.
I died. One's just fine, yeah. There's spikes.
P.
He's on the spine. He's going. He's going down.
That's one blue.
I'm with you.
We just got a good look.
Our spikes. Going bumpy weak. He's getting out.
Back into the game here after the Astro listening, and it's Native Red, even though they got the overshield, who have fallen into the trap of FaZe Clan. They absolutely melted the OS player, and from there have established a 3-kill lead.
And they needed that kill from Druck there. That double's huge. That keeps the game within 2 as well. 1 dead for each side here. Battle over Ivy side.
2 kills separate the 2 teams. As we see now, all the players retreat once again to each other. A little rotation coming in here from FaZe, trying to catch maybe a Native Red member off guard as they move. Could be caught on that crossfire, but I think you need to know everything you need to know from the position of Manny now on Native Red, right at the back of the base, playing the back of the pillar. You're going to see both teams not giving away anything until that next OS set forces them to play for it.
I think with a 2-kill lead here for the side of FaZe, only fitting we get to hear their comms as well as they break through the tactics here. Let's go to an Astro listening now on the FaZe side of the stage.
Water open on. He's gonna reach out. Yo, come to me. Everybody come back to me. Everybody come back to me now. Guys, I'm grabbing for this Obi.
Heaven. They want us cross.
Guys, listen. No. We're all same team. Come back. I'm gonna get this Obi. You guys are double gonna play both sides, all right? One's gonna go combo, other kid's gonna go both combos. We're just gonna play combos, all right? Sitting in red flag.
Which combo? Their combo?
Both combos.
Alright, I'll set our combo.
Man, I could get this if we look over me.
Holly's in their flag.
I'm just sitting in red flag.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to help John though.
Yeah, on me. Two. Mike, get on red spikes.
Nice.
Still, guys.
I heard you,
I
John.
need
John,
a combo.
they might be ramping me, John.
Ape guys, Ape.
I'm coming. Spikes one.
Yeah, they put him in.
Nice, good shit.
Good shit. Be aggressive. Listen,
Crossman, yes.
Yeah, he's blue gun. He went blue gun.
I spiked it, John.
Yeah, he went blue gun. He double back. He's still here.
I'm coming, John.
Yeah, on me, nigga. Oh, I got a pinch. I got one. Nice,
Bobby
Nick.
tired. Bobby
I
tired.
got pinches.
You got Nick. Nice, good shit, Ty.
Take this.
Right here, Mike. Wait, another guy, Heaven. Look at me. He's opposite Heaven, Mike.
Look at me.
He's in there open.
What's this? Mike, you don't have the time to game. You don't have the gun.
I got two.
He's back flag hiding.
I spiked Ty.
And as we rejoin the game, Renegade takes control of the game for FaZe. A massive triple kill off the back of the play call.
I mean, what an amazing time to go to listen in there. A little bit of contention between Renegade and Spartan on the play call for the overshield. In the end, it works perfectly there. Perfect control. And now FaZe is up by 7 kills in game number 5.
Renegade also has the skewer. If you needed a precision weapon in the hands of anyone, you'd probably want it in the hands of Renegade. One more bullet to play with for him as well. Grabs that grapple, so now when that XOS comes up, he's going to be in a position to really do some damage. Skewer out of ammo. Now it's time for FaZe to retreat. They're playing this one so smart.
We asked if Renegade was in World Championship form. How about going 9-4 with 6 assists right now, leading in all 3 of those categories on the team. Unbelievable.
That's what you look for in a superstar player. It's what you need from a superstar player. But if we learn anything in this game, it's that Native Red have got more heart than most. A couple of kills go in their favor. They close the gap for just a few seconds. Another trade coming in now. Renegade, he can't win the fight either. And all of a sudden, Native Red say, we are not happy with how this game is going. We got something to say about it.
What was a 7-kill lead, now just a 4-kill lead. Like you say, Native Red not going down without a fight.
Oh, it's picked up this time by Native Red as well. Manny, off the back of those kills, decides time for me to push. Renegade gets a beat down. There's one. It's a fist fight, but Manny survives. A double kill, but 2v2 is the trade. FaZe through 3. Druck has lost. Oh, my word, Druck! Decimates Falcated.
A huge trade there before the Druck kill. Druck wins that even more important battle now, 29-27. And just like that is a successful push for Native Red. They bring the game within 2.
Just a few moments ago, it was 7. Now it's just 2, make it just 1. Druck is looking for blood. He ties the game up! 29-29. Renegade answers back, though, with one of his own.
This is unbelievable. What a game 5 between these squads. It's a great team shot there from Talik, as well as Manny. Now tied up 30-30 here. 20 kills to go. 3 minutes on the clock.
Game 2. Recharge Slayer was in a very similar position. And it was FaZe who had the composure to pull away in those moments when the game slowed down. Will they be able to do it again, or will Native Red pull off the upset?
And look at the clock. Because this game was so slow at the beginning, there's only 2:30 left. We likely will not hit the 50 kill mark here, especially on Catalyst. This will come down to time. These next few rounds of slays will decide the game.
I'm literally biting my nails at the moment watching this. I'm sure the people in the arena here in Seattle are doing the same. I'm sure that people at home are doing the same as well. This is edge of your seat Halo.
Oh my God, does not pull the trigger there on Talik. It looked like he had the frame to do it. 31 now to 30. Native Red takes the lead narrowly.
Oh, with such a close shot coming in from Nick, but it's not close enough. Overshield back on the map. Pressure coming in from Native Red. It's still a 1-kill advantage, make it 2. Torlik makes a big play to maybe open up the map now for Soul Snipe to get that overshield.
Look at the pressure and the patience that comes in there. They take down the skewer player. They gain a 2-kill lead here, 34-33. Still just a 1-kill game, 2 dead.
Overshield's still up though. Does anyone have eyes on it? Yes, they do, and his name is Torlik. He has the grapple. He brings that overshield home. He slams it into his chest, but Nick had the opportunity to send him off the map, can't do so, and it's a big lead here.
It's a big team nade as well. Look at that, takes off almost all the overshield. It's a 3-kill lead though, as you say. Talik knows someone might be in the courtyard.
1 minute 16 and falling. FaZe starting to look a little bit ragged.
Oh my God.
39 with around 70 seconds left in this game. They need 11. FaZe needs something special.
Talk about the patience, the resilience there of Native Red to just take out the skewer player, then blow it wide open, as well as grab the overshield. It's 40-35, a 5-kill lead, less than a minute left.
50 seconds to hold on. But it's just one team fight here for FaZe. If they come out on top of it, the game could completely flip on its head. The kill feed is where you need to direct your eyes, and Nick gets that first pick here for FaZe. They have a chance.
A second kill as well. This is a 2-man advantage here. Here comes the push. They're down by 3.
Spartan staying alive. Torlik's going to be challenging. Manny's there as well. It's 41-37, but there's only 27 seconds left on that game clock.
Look at this now, 41-39 for 2-kill game here. Renegade stays alive. 20 seconds left. Oh my God, down to the wire here.
Have they got the time to close the gap though? Can they find the bodies of Native Red?
They're gonna run.
FaZe have got to chase. And at the moment, all they see is shadows.
They gotta go now.
7 seconds left until the upset is complete. Nick's gonna fly in. He can't get the kill. Manny gets the kill. And we're back. One of the most unbelievable days of Halo you will ever see concludes with Native Red winning a Game 5 against FaZe.
The Cinderella story lives on. Native Red digs deep. A comeback win in game number 5 to send FaZe to the elimination bracket. And the Dreamers continue dreaming here in Seattle.
You get the feeling the day was just never going to end any other way. 17. Native Red, another Game 5 win. And the most impressive thing for me, Andy, do you know what? I'm going to let the crowd take it away, to be honest with you. I can hear them. I can hear them. They have gained so many fans here in Seattle. The Native Red chant is... You can hear it from here.
I mean, it's unbelievable. We asked ourselves, is this the tournament for FaZe to strike? Is this when Native Red might pull out all the stops and break the curse? They have done it. A 43-40 Game 5 Slayer on Catalyst. Come from behind win with unbelievable late game composure to pull off yet another upset. Let's not forget, they reversed swept Cloud9 about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And they do it as well against FaZe in 5 games. They are the victors. A 43-40 win. In game number 5, they will stay alive and they will go to the winners finals.
Best day of Halo of all time.
I think
Yeah.
easy.
One of the best days of Halo you've ever seen.
For sure.
And ever likely to see. And the great thing for you at home and everybody here in the arena, and for us too as well, is it's only Saturday.
It's crazy.
We got a whole other day of this tomorrow. Absolutely ridiculous. But I need to give a huge shout out to all of the teams, all the players who put on the show today. I think it's only right we hear from Native Red, right? Blaze is down on the main stage with them right now.